Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita as it is. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the introduction to Bhagavad Gita as it is. Last video I read the part where Prabhupada is talking about Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is eternal and it is not sectarian, it is not bound by any limitations or boundaries. So, continue to that. Yet, man professes to belong to a particular type of faith with reference to particular time and circumstance, and thus claims to be a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, or an adherent to any other sect. Such designations are non-Sanatana Dharma. A Hindu may change his faith to become a Muslim, or a Muslim may change his faith to become a Hindu, or a Christian may change his faith, and so on. But in all circumstances, the change of religious faith does not affect the eternal occupation of rendering service to others. The Hindu, Muslim, or Christian in all circumstances is a servant of someone. Thus, to profess a particular type of faith is not to profess one's Sanatana Dharma. The rendering of service is Sanatana Dharma. Factually, we are related to the Supreme Lord in service. The Supreme Lord is the supreme enjoyer, and we living entities are his servitors. We are created for his enjoyment, and if we participate in that eternal enjoyment with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we will become happy. We cannot become happy otherwise. It is not possible to be happy independently, just as no one part of the body can be happy without cooperating with the stomach. It is not possible for the living entity to be happy without rendering transcendental loving service unto the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, worship of different demigods or rendering service to them is not approved. It is stated in the 7th chapter, 20th verse. Kamaiste stair hritajnana prapadyante nyadevata tam tam niyamam asthaya prakritya niyata svaya. Quote, those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their true natures. Unquote. Here it is plainly said that those who are directed by lust worship the demigods and not the Supreme Lord Krishna. When we mention the name Krishna, we do not refer to any sectarian name. Krishna means the highest pleasure, and it is confirmed that the Supreme Lord is a reservoir or storehouse of all pleasure. We are hankering after pleasure. Ananda Mayo Vyasat. Vedanta Sutra 1.1.12. The living entities, like the Lord, are full of consciousness and they are after happiness. The Lord is perpetually happy, and if the living entities associate with the Lord, cooperate with Him, and take part in His association, then they also become happy. So here, in the 3-4 paragraph, the main gist of the matter is that Sanatana Dharma, our innate nature, Sanatana means eternal. Our eternal nature is to render service. Either we render service to our boss, or we render service to our family or our community. But the fact remains that everybody has to render some sort of a service. Now the question is, do you want to render service to something impermanent, something temporary, like this relationships of this world, or you want to render service to the Supreme Lord? So Sanatana Dharma is not sectarian, is not religion. Please understand that. If you translate, it's a Sanskrit word, Sanatana Dharma, if you translate it, It just means eternal occupation. Then the question is, what is the eternal occupation? As has been said before, the eternal quality, or occupation or eternal essence of fire is heat and light. You take heat and light from fire, it is no longer fire. The eternal quality of water is liquidity. If you take it out, it's no longer water. Similarly, the eternal quality, the innate nature, is to render service. The dharma of the bird is to fly in the sky. The dharma of the dog is to bark. The dharma of the fish is to swim in the water. The eternal dharma of the human being is to give service to others, to somebody else. So the best person to give service to is the Supreme Lord Krishna. Now the other point stated here is that, now this is like a controversial topic or a can of worms, because in India we are really into worshipping demigods. We have 33 crore devatas, and for everything there is a devata. There is Indra, there is Chandra, there is Surya Dev, there is Varun Dev, there is Ganpati, Hanumanji. So many devatas are there, and we are very efficient in knowing exactly which devata to worship for what benefit. However, Gita clearly says, Lord Krishna clearly says that we should not be worshipping any demigods, because Krishna is the supreme Lord. Everything has to be sanctioned by the supreme boss, Krishna. Only then demigods can act on it. So instead of going the roundabout way, why don't we just directly worship the Supreme Lord? Because ultimately he has to sanction it, right? So demigod worship is not encouraged in Gita. I repeat, worship Gita spoken by the Supreme Lord Krishna specifically says, Krishna says, I am the ultimate. See, the God is himself stating that, and he condemns demigod worship. But why do people worship demigods? Because they get quick results. You know, you want your job promotion, you want to get married, you want a house, you want a car. There are different demigods you can please those demigods, and quickly you will get the results. But what's the point? You get entangled in your karma. Okay, that's a different topic, how we get entangled in our karma. So the best simple short answer is, don't worship demigods, worship directly the Supreme Personality of Lordhead, Godhead. And the word Krishna, you see, when you say Krishna, immediately, everybody's, oh, I'm talking about the Hindu word Krishna. No, you can look up the Sanskrit meaning of Krishna. Means the reservoir of pleasure, the origin of all pleasure is Krishna. So when we associate with Krishna, we are partaking the pleasure, the joy. Every living entity in this entire cosmos is after joy, is after pleasure, is after happiness. So when you can't be independently happy, you can be happy when you associate with the reservoir of pleasure, which is Krishna. So don't think that Krishna is a Hindu god. Krishna is a reservoir of all happiness, which every living entity, right from the ant to Lord Brahma, everybody is after happiness, and Krishna is the reservoir of happiness. With that, we stop the introduction for today, and we move on to the battlefield, where Arjuna is again, he's continuing with his reservations to fight. Verse number 37 to 38, 37 and 38. यद्यपेतेन पश्यन्ति लोभोपहत चेतसा कुलक्षया कृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम् कथं नाज्ञेयम् अस्माभिः पापाद् अस्मान् निवर्तितुं कुलक्षया कृतं दोषं Prapashyadivir Janardana. O Janardana, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's own family or quarreling with friends, why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Ho. A Kshatriya is not supposed to refuse to battle or gamble when he is so invited by some rival party. Under such obligation, Arjuna could not refuse to fight because he had been challenged by the party of Duryodhana. In this connection, Arjuna considered that the other party might be blind to the effects of such challenge. Arjuna, however, could see the evil consequence and could not accept the challenge. Obligation is actually binding when the effect is good, but when the effect is otherwise, then no one can be bound. Considering all these pros and cons, Arjuna decided not to fight. Now, in the moral code for Kshatriyas, I'm talking about the Vedic injunctions for Kshatriyas, the warrior class. When a Kshatriya is challenged to a duel, to fight, or even a gambling challenge, a Kshatriya is not expected to refuse. If a Kshatriya is challenged either to a war or to a game, he has to oblige. That is the moral code of Kshatriya. So here Arjuna has been challenged to the war, and as a Kshatriya he has to take up the challenge. However, if the outcome of such a challenge is not good, then a Kshatriya can refuse. So Arjuna is in his mind, he is speculating all the pros and cons of this challenge, and he decided that the outcome is not good. Therefore, he will not accept the challenge. So that's how the Arjuna's thought process is going on. Previously, he stated 2, 3 reasons why he doesn't want to fight. Number one, he's feeling compassion for the other party who will eventually die. Number two, he feels what's the point of gaining all the kingdom and happiness when we can't share it with our own family because we'll be killing them in the battle. And number three, he feels that I will be getting sin for killing my own family members. So these are 3 reasons which previously Arjuna stated. Now he is talking about, he's thinking that the opposite party, the enemies, are oblivious. They're ignorant of the outcome of this challenge to the war. But Arjuna, being more grounded, Arjuna feels that I know the repercussions, I know the outcome of this drastic war. Why should I enter into it when I know the outcome? Probably Duryodhana and his party is not really um, aware of the tremendous loss of life that's going to happen in this war, but I'm aware of it, so I should not be fighting. Verse number 39. Kulakshaye pranashyanti kula dharma sanatana dharme nashte kula kritsnam adharmo bhi bhavatyuta. With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in a religion. Purport. In the system of Varnashrama institution, there are many principles of religious traditions to help the members of the family grow properly and attain spiritual values. The elder members are responsible for such purifying process in the family beginning from birth to death. But on the death of the elder members, such family traditions of purification may stop, and the remaining younger family members may develop irreligious habits and thereby lose a chance for spiritual salvation. Therefore, for no purpose should the elder members of the family be slain. Now, here Arjuna is giving the 4th reason why he does not want to fight. He says that You see, the elder members of the family are responsible um, for continuing the family tradition, because they know the past, whatever traditions has been there, so they teach the younger generation what are the traditions, and so on. The traditions are continued. But if we were to finish off the elder generation, kill the elders, then the family tradition will come to a stop. The younger generation will not know what to do, and therefore it is going to be very bad for the family tradition. Um, um, in our Sanatana Dharma, there are Shodasha Opchara. There are 16 rituals that is given for each phase of the life, starting from birth or even before birth. There's a Garbhodharana Samskar where the pregnant mother has to undergo rituals, and then there's a birth ritual. Then there is a ritual for the first time the grains are eaten, Anna, the ritual for education and so on, the Upanayanam, and then the ritual for marriage, the ritual for all the way up to death, and even after death, the rituals to be continued, is the Vedic injunction. The Vedas say that we have to do all this for maintaining the stability of the society as a whole. But the elders are generally responsible in a family for propagating and continuing the important family tradition. So Arjuna feels that I should not be killing the elders because then the family traditions are lost. So that would be first number 39, sorry, and we have up to 46 in this first chapter, observing the army. Hope you've understood something, you've gained something. If you've liked the video, please give a thumbs up, give your comments below, please share it with your friends and family, and remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for notification. Thank you very much for listening and seeing this video. I hope to see you next time. Um, Bhagavad Gita as it is. Till next time, Hare Krishna.